Okay, so chapter 8 of my book, I talk about dealing with conflict in the workplace. It's not a matter of if conflict is going to happen in a workplace. It's just a matter of when. All right? And actually, conflict is not a bad thing. Conflict is a thing we can learn and grow so much during that time if we use it properly. But oftentimes we don't. So conflict is like having a hammer around your house. Well, all of us know having a hammer in the house is a great deal, right? I need to nail something in, I got a hammer. Well, when you nail your own finger, then it becomes a problem. And that's how conflict is. It's great when it's used properly, but when it's used wrong, it becomes maladaptive and it begins to cause problems for the workplace. So again, it's not a matter of if conflict is going to happen. It's going to happen. It happens in workplaces, it happens in homes. It doesn't matter. It happens everywhere. So what people usually do in conflict, though, let's say I have a problem with Joan, okay? So I have a problem with Joan. Joan's offended me terribly. I'm so upset. And so what do? I immediately go talk to Susie and Bobby and Billy, and I talk to all these people about how upset I am with Joan. And listen to what I'm saying, because I want you to understand this is going on in the workplace every day. And I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about grown professional adults. They have a conflict with one person and they go talk to 3 other people. And they don't understand that when they do that, they're dropping poison bombs of discord all through the company. And so they go talk to those 3 people. Now those 3 people, because they're their friends, are upset with this person who's offended me. I ask people all the time, when you have conflict in the workplace, do me this one favor. If you have conflict with Joan, go talk to Joan. Because when you go talk to Joan, then what you do is you avoid bringing more toxicity into the workplace by poisoning other people against the person who offended you. So when I go talk to Joan, usually 1 or 2 things has happened with Joan. The first one is when I'm like, hey, I want to talk to you. The other day you said this, you did this, whatever it is. Joan doesn't even know she's offended me. And that's the case oftentimes. We walk around offended by stuff that people are like, oh, I don't know. I wasn't thinking about you. I was having a rough day. This is what's going on in my home. I wasn't thinking about you. So that allows us to work it out. It's like, oh, really? We get to work it out without poisoning all these other people. Or the second thing that could be is that she's like, yeah, because you really upset me that day. Joan and I get to talk it out. She gets to tell me how upset she was. I get to tell her how I felt. We get to work it out as adults and professionals without poisoning other people in the workplace. Now think about this. If we're doing this, Joan and I are doing this, and I'm taking it and poisoning other people, imagine if this is happening 10 other times, 10 people have been offended, and they're poisoning other people. That's why there's so much toxicity in the workplace. People have to be taught how to deal with conflict. We have to, it has to be a part of our training. It can't be something that a person's trained on when they're a new hire, and then we don't train them on it again. No, it's consistent. It's a consistent training that has to be happened. People have to be empowered to go talk to people that offend them, because most people deal with conflict the way that maybe they saw their parents deal with it. And let's say their parents were just screamers and yellers. So they'll deal with conflict like that. They'll scream or they'll yell and they're so mad, right? Or some people deal with conflict according to their personality. And maybe their personality has become very passive aggressive, or just be quiet and say nothing. Again, it's a problem. Some people actually resort to physical fighting when they're dealing with conflict. People have to be taught in the workplace how to deal with conflict.